This is how you write a killer app without writing one single line of code. And watch closely, because I personally know a lot of pro founders, including myself, that build massive apps with millions in revenue. And while this app could be the next big thing that people love, all that potential could also be wasted if you don't follow these steps. But what separates apps that launch and grow big from ideas that are stuck in your head? What do these successful founders know that we don't? Building a killer app follows these 4 simple steps. I will walk you through them in this video. Step 1. Validate your idea. Before you start building, you need to find out if this idea is actually worth pursuing. A lot of people skip this step and spend months on building something nobody really wants. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I built a full video on this. How to validate your idea with $0. I'll link to it in the description. That video walks you through exactly how to validate without spending a cent. But here's a quick version. You need to answer these 3 questions. Is there a real problem that needs solving? Is the problem frequent enough for enough people? Can an app actually solve this problem? I launched Vota less than a year ago. A platform that disrupts traditional rating systems by connecting people with personalized restaurant recommendations. With Vota, we knew people struggled with restaurant recommendations. The problem was frequent. People eat out multiple times a week. And yes, an app that could solve it by giving personalized recommendations based on individual taste profiles. I'm also the founder of Vivino, the world's largest wine app with over 70 million users. With Vivino, we had a maybe on question 3. We weren't sure we could actually build the wine data we needed. We took a gamble, and it paid off. Don't spend months on validation, but don't skip it either. Check out the validation video, spend minutes on it, yes, minutes, and then move on. Step number 2. Build your mockup. Now it's time to get your idea out of your head onto a screen. This is where things get real. You need to create a mockup. Basically a visual blueprint of your app. No code, no design, just simple black and white screens showing what you want to build. This is a crucial step. You'll save yourself weeks or months of development if you have a good plan first. There are several tools we can use. Balsamiq. I've used it for over 10 years. It's simple, it's clean, and it forces you to focus on functionality over design. These are actual Balsamiq mockups we made for Vivino over a decade ago. Whimsical. Newer, a bit more modern, still super simple to use with a clean interface. Both have free versions. Figma. If you want something more detailed and closer to an actual design, Figma is powerful. It's what most professional designers use. Here's my advice. Start with the most important screen. Not the first screen, the most important screen. The screen where the magic happens. For Vivino, that was the scanning of a wine label. For Vota, it's the new way of rating restaurants. What's yours? And remember, MVP, minimum viable product. I talk about it constantly because founders always build too much. Ask yourself for every single feature, every single button, do I really need this? If the answer is anything different than absolutely yes, cut it. Only need to haves, 0 nice to haves. This is hard, but it's the difference between launching and spending months in development. Build multiple screens if you want. Make them clickable so you can navigate through your app idea, but keep it simple, keep it minimal. Step 3, build your app. All right, now it's getting exciting. This is also where everything has changed in the last year. You have 3 options here. Option number 1, find a technical co-founder. This is what I did with both Vivino and Vota. Find someone who can build, someone technical who believes in the vision. I have a whole video on finding co-founders if you want to go down this route. Link in the description. Option 2, pay someone to build it. You can hire developers either locally or through platforms like Upwork. Let me be honest, this is really hard if you haven't done it before. Managing developers, knowing if they're doing a great job, handling revisions, it takes time. If you go down this route, start with an incredibly small MVP and expect it to be expensive. Option 3, build it yourself with no code and AI tools. This is the game changer and maybe the most exciting option. You can actually build real apps now without coding. And things are moving so fast in this space. So fast I had to add a new section to this video. It's one of the big no-code platforms. It's about AI-powered building. I'll tell you more in a sec. Let me bring on someone who's done exactly this. Oleg, Parinov, founder of Board, an app fighting brain rot and doom scrolling. He built his entire app using no-code tools, and he'll share exactly how he did it. So what problem does Board solve?
So what Board helps with is fighting brain rot and doom scrolling. And it does that with short and practical boredom workouts and some simple reflection tools.
So why did you choose to build it yourself?
Because the no-code tools and low-code tools are actually really good now. Now the barrier to entry has practically disappeared. Like I could sit down myself and I could just start building immediately without spending months and months learning a programming language.
Oleg built Board with Flutterflow, one of the leading no-code platforms. Let's talk about the tools you have available. No-code tools. The no-code space has exploded. You can now build professional, App Store-ready apps without writing code. Here are the main platforms. Flutterflow. This is what Oleg used to build Bboard. It's built on top of Flutter, which is Google's framework for building apps. The cool thing about Flutterflow is that it generates real code. You're not locked into their platform. It is more complex than some others, but it's incredibly powerful. You can build genuinely sophisticated apps. Adalo. This is my favorite for beginners. Super easy to use. Drag and drop, and you can publish directly to the app stores. The learning curve is gentle, which matters when you're starting out. Draftbit. This is like Adalo, but more powerful. A bit more complex, but it gives you more control. Also publishes directly to the app stores.
The difference was how you do it, right? Like instead of just writing the code yourself, you could just drag and drop. You could select from predefined things. And that, in my experience, just made it much, much, much faster to implement. After, I would say, maybe like a few, or maybe just a few days of watching a few tutorials, you could just sit down and start building things inside Flutterflow. It took about maybe like a few weeks to get to the point where I was already happy with the overall functionality, and a few more weeks to polish things. So that the MVP version of the app was releasable. So I think a month in, I already got the first version out.
AI tools, the new frontier. Now here's where things get really interesting. AI tools have emerged in the past year that can actually build full apps from a prompt. I'm talking about tools where you describe what you want and they build it for you. This is science fiction becoming reality.
The possibility is really like endless. You can build so many different things like marketplaces, social apps, really. You can even build like your own custom private app for your friends, which is kind of like a chatting app, whatever, right? There's endless possibilities here. I mean, the production times is like, it's gone down so much from when you traditionally had to build apps, even with no code, like which already reduced the time you can build apps with. This is just from, I mean, you can have a ready-made app in like minutes from just prompt, and then you have an app.
Let's have a look at the tools. Bolt.new. Bolt is incredibly powerful. You describe your app idea and it generates React native code, which means it creates actual mobile apps. Check out their gallery. People are building real apps with this. The quality is surprisingly good. And here's the key. It generates code so you can actually use. You're not locked into their platform. Onspace.ai. This is a newer but very impressive platform. They have a demo where they built AI home design app. It's actually live in the App Store. You can see the demo where they take you through the whole process of building an app with just text prompts. And the app they built is of professional quality. These AI tools are still early, but they're improving rapidly. In 6 months, they'll be even better. In a year, they'll be incredible. Dreamflow. In fact, that brings us to Dreamflow. This is a new platform I mentioned. This is brand new, literally launched in 2025 from the Flutterflow team. Same company, same leadership, but this is their next generation product. Here's what you need to know. Dreamflow adds AI generation to Flutterflow's proven platform. You describe what you want, it builds it. But unlike pure AI tools, you're still getting real Flutter code that you own. This is truly a hybrid, the best of both worlds. You get the speed of AI generation, but the power of a professional no-code platform. It's more powerful than Flutterflow, but with the AI doing the heavy lifting. You're not locked in. Export your code anytime. This is cutting-edge stuff. It's evolving fast. If you want the most advanced AI no-code tool right now, this is it.
Currently, especially one of my favorites is Bolt.new. They support Expo and kind of this React Native, this very great fundamental for building mobile apps that allows you to build cross-platform mobile apps. So Bolt.new is really like, it's personally my favorite. And then there's also this Onspace AI, which is newer and also looks pretty promising. Quick MVP, a quick landing page even, those are perfect for these AI tools, right? If you want to just have a quick MVP of your mobile app, perfect AI.
So if it's your first product and you have no idea how apps specifically work under the hood, I would still say that it's important for you to understand still, I mean, let's see if it's still the case in half a year from now with the development of AI. I would say right now it's still quite important for you to understand the basic idea of how apps work. And you can either actually spend some time learning, or you can try a tool like Flutterflow or Dreamflow that forces you to understand those kind of things and forces you to get a grasp of how apps work under the hood. So for my new project or for the next app, I wouldn't start with Flutterflow anymore. I would go full on AI.
So how did you learn these things? What were good resources for you to get going?
So Flutterflow has some really good resource videos on YouTube. Like they used to do a good job actually posting a lot of materials there. Plus, there are a lot of enthusiasts on YouTube who have made some really, really good tutorials.
Would you use no code for your next app?
For my next app, no. Like I would go full-blown AI.
Getting started. So how do you actually get started with all these tools? First, pick one. Don't try all of them. Pick the one that fits your needs. Complete beginner, maybe start with $1. Want more power? Go to Flutterflow. Want AI generation? Bolt New or on Space.ai. Best of both worlds could be Dreamflow. Second, watch tutorials. YouTube is your best friend here. Every one of these platforms have tons of tutorials. Third, start small. Don't try and build your entire app vision. Build one screen, get that working, then another one, then another screen, and iterate. Important. Have your ducks in a row. Before we wrap up, there's something crucial you need to know with regards to launching and building apps in this day and age. Things have gotten simpler to build, but they've also gotten more complicated in other ways. The DMA, Digital Markets Launch in Europe, and other regulations means you have certain things in order before you can launch. Privacy policy, you absolutely need this. Apple will not let you launch otherwise. Terms of service, same here, required. Data handling, you need to be clear about what data you collect and why. Business entity, depending on where you are, you might need an actual company to set up before you publish. This stuff isn't hard, but you need to do it. And don't leave it till last minute. Set these things up early. With Vota, we have to navigate all of this. It took a few extra weeks, but it's necessary. The App Store is stricter than you think. Step 4, launch and learn. Once you built your MVP, a truly minimal MVP, it's time to launch. Don't wait to be perfect. Perfect doesn't exist. As Reid Hoffman said, if you're not embarrassed by your first version of the product, you've launched too late. Get it out there. Get it in people's hands. Learn from real users. The first version of Vivino was so basic that Apple didn't approve it, but we got it out in the end. We learned and we iterated every single week. That's how you win. Launch, learn, iterate. Not by building in a cave for months. That's it. That's how you build a killer app in 2026. To recap, 1. Validate your idea quickly. Check my validation video. 2. Build a mockup video, balsamic, whimsical, or Figma. 3. Choose a building method. Find a technical co-founder. Hire developers. Build it yourself with no code or AI tools. 4. Launch and iterate. The tools exist and the knowledge is out there. The only thing stopping you is taking action. What app are you going to build? Leave a comment below. I want to know what you're working on. If this video helped you, make sure you like and subscribe. Now stop watching, go build something.